Hi everybody, welcome back. Today I've decided to build a bridge, but I'm going to build this bridge for free. I'm going to build it out of material that I have just laying around from other projects, and it's not just going to be any little bridge either. It's going to be almost 5 feet long. Now, I'm no stranger to building large bridges, such as this one here, which comes in at 16 feet long. So, anyway, the bridge I'm building today won't be quite that long. But what's most important is, this bridge is not going to cost me a dime. So here's most of the materials here. A scrap sheet of plywood, some dowels, let's see, this square stock right here, an old piece of corner protector. This goes on the corner of your wall to basically protect it. And this here came out of an old window shade, a big old window shade. So yeah, there's our scrap materials that are just laying around the house or around the garage, excess from other projects, and we're going to build a bridge with this. So a few weeks ago, I mentioned in layout update 29 that I was going to put a group of trees right here to kind of separate Dearborn from Bay City. I've changed my mind a little bit on that. I'm actually going to put something a little bit bigger and a little bit more concrete. At one point, many years ago, during one of my earlier versions of the layout design, is that the backdrop right here was going to continue down over these tracks, and then it was also going to come forward. And then in the corner, I was going to put an I-75 overpass that would just kind of go up into the corner and dead end against the backdrop. Well, one thing led to another, and ultimately the layout's design right through here got changed, and all of that got omitted. The reason it was originally there was two things. It was going to separate Dearborn from Bay City on the layout, which in reality are like 100 or so miles apart, but not just open to each other like this. But the second thing that was planned to do back in the day was actually hold a module up here, but that got redesigned and removed from the plans. Anyway, we come back to today, and I'm looking at it and I'm thinking, you know what? Why not bring back that bridge idea? Okay? Because it makes total sense. I-75 runs just to the east of Dearborn, so over here. Just to the west of Bay City, so over here, and then just to the east of Saginaw area, which is represented back over through there. So it makes perfect sense to use an overpass, something much bigger, that goes through all three of these locations as my scenic divider. So that's what we're going to do, is build an overpass of I-75 from all the way out here. It's going to go that way on an angle and meet this piece of backdrop that's on a 45-degree. So the cornfield here will still exist, but I will move this section of it over. And that actually should save me some money on more corn, because I'll be able to pretty much fill this in. I'll only need a couple more packs. Now, I don't have enough material around to make this overpass 100%, but I do have enough to build it up to where it's going to look very, very complete, and it will definitely pass as an overpass. Actually, I've got the roadway already cut to width right here, and I'm going to show you how I'm going to measure to cut the end sections, because they're not just going to be straight across. As you can tell, the bridge is going in on an angle, plus that backdrop is on an angle. So instead of trying to do some kind of tricky geometry or trigonometry, I'm going to show you how to do it the easy way. Alrighty, so what I've done is I removed that piece of backdrop, and then I removed the corn and just have it stacked up right there, okay? And then I just took the board, laid it where I want it, went back there with a straight edge and a pencil and drew a line right along the edge of the layout. No special measuring required. So I'm going to do the same thing out at the front edge here. Take a straight edge, just like that, and we'll draw a line. And then I can take this out to the garage and cut it to length. Alright, I've put that piece of backdrop back up there, and I've got the board cut and sitting in place now. So, next thing to do, if you notice right here, see these little pencil marks? There's one there and here. So this is where the support beam is going to go. And then the columns or piers or whatever will go under that. And those columns will be made out of this dowel. And then the support beam that goes under the roadway and above those columns will be made out of this, the square stock here. Okay, so I just line this up on those lines. Okay, mark the length. I'll do that right here, and then there's another one that goes right there. Alright, let's go get those measured and cut out. And then each column is going to be about 3 inches. So I'll go make a bunch of those while we're at it. And also in my bag of tricks, actually on a peg hook, I found that I still have some bridge shoes from working on the International Bridge over there. And it's perfect. I need 6 shoes, and that's exactly what I have in this here package. Alright, and here's the support columns made up. This one I'll show you why I don't have a column here. When I install that on the bridge, you'll understand why that one's missing. Here's the other two. One of these will be the front, one of them will be the back. Once the wood glue sets up real good, I'll put the bridge shoes here on top, and then it's only going to have to be one on each end, which comes out to 6, because you won't really be able to see under here at all, because the bridge is only about 3.5 inches tall. Alright, I've got the columns cut and glued together, and I've got the bridge shoes on there and the first coat of paint on those. So that's sharp looking. Then I brought the deck over here, the plywood, because I'm going to go ahead and glue them on there on the bottom and kind of see how everything fits. Alright, let's check this out. So the bridge is sitting in place now. That looks cool. Plenty of clearance for the taller cars. Go right under there. Now I mentioned earlier that one of these sets of columns doesn't go all the way to the edge. In fact, it's the middle one. And I'm going to show you why that is right now. Because if it did come all the way out to the edge, it would be right on the track there. And we have to make sure that our tall cars can fit under there, which you see they do. This is my tallest car right here, and it fits under there really nice. Nice prototypical gap between there. I'll come over to the other side. You can see the bridge shoes in there. Nice little detail. And it butts up real nice against that backdrop. So the next thing I'm going to do is I've already marked the center line of the bridge. And I'm going to glue down this little piece of wood. This is the piece of wood that came out of an old window shade. I'm going to glue that right down the middle. That'll be the guardrail that divides the traffic, northbound and southbound in this case. And then I'll get the whole thing painted gray. So we'll see you then. Alright, so I've got that center guard glued in place. I had to put a lot of weight on it because there's a slight bow in the plywood. So I'll probably leave that to dry overnight. But the next thing I can do is take these pieces of, let me get it up here, this corner guard, okay, the corner guard used to put on your walls. I'm going to cut those to length and get those painted, and they'll become the guardrails along each side of the bridge. Alright, so here it is, all painted up, except for the guardrails along the sides. So the weather hasn't been warm enough yet for me to take those out and spray paint them. Those are made out of a really smooth plastic, so I definitely have to spray paint them. If I tried to brush paint those, it would just smear and make a complete mess. But the roadway is painted. Now I did stripe the roads, or the lanes, as you can see, and they look pretty good. I actually used one of those Woodland Scenics road striping pens. First time I ever used one of those. However, I used the wrong color. Even though these look good and probably would pass for most people, those stripes should be white, because the two lanes here both go the same direction. So typically that line would be white, and it would be a yellow line if it was in between two lanes of opposing traffic. So I'll probably fix those. I'll just get a straight edge and draw over the yellow lines with a white pen, which I do have. I'll probably fix those when I take these railings out to spray paint them. Once they're painted, I'll draw the expansion lines every so often. Okay. Because I have to remove the bridge from the layout to glue the railings on, so that's why I'll probably do the striping then. Because I don't have to take the bridge outside to do the striping. I could just do that wherever. However, it would be much easier if I lifted the bridge off the layout. So for now, that's about as far as I'm going to take this project. So up to this point, this bridge was built completely out of material that I had in the basement or in the garage. Just had it laying around, leftover pieces from other projects. Okay, even the car there I had. So again, this is about as far as I'm going to take it due to the weather and the fact that I simply don't have any more material. So a couple things that I still want to add to this bridge in the future is I want to get maybe some balsa wood stripping, maybe 1/8 by 1/8 inch square, either wood or maybe even evergreen styrene, and put a line of it along the bottom edge here, all the way down on both sides of the bridge to simulate that that is a large steel I-beam, which is how the bridge is made. Okay, and then it'll get painted red just like the side of the bridge there. So another thing I want to do is also add some street lights and signs. I might actually have a couple speed limit signs that I'll put up there. And I'd like to add some more vehicles. So that's going to be about it for now. So this was a fun little project. If nothing more, what I really wanted you to take away from this video is the fact that you can actually build something completely for free, just out of spare material that you have in your home from other projects you've done. So you could build something small or something rather large like this bridge here. So go ahead and see what you have and see what you can come up with. Might be pretty neat. Well, until next time, thanks for watching. Take care, everybody. Bye for now.